Hey guys, Wagwan, and welcome to another episode of the Young and Suffren podcast. With me, I have my ever-loving husband, Isaac.
Yo.
And today is very, very special because we have our first guest. He is a social media relationship expert.
Wow.
Everybody,
I ain't mad at that.
up for DTheDon.
How y'all doing, man? Yeah, I know it's your boy D. Excited to be here.
Yes.
Sir.
So you've accumulated 500,000 on TikTok.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I mean well over 1 million, all platforms.
All platforms combined.
Yeah, man, it's the growth has been tremendous. The growth is dope. So
What was the
excited about that.
impetus behind starting your brand like that?
Well, I've been working with your husband for 3-4 years,
4 years,
almost 4
2020.
years. Yes, and I've always been behind the camera, so I'm making all this money for everybody else shooting
Right.
their content. I'm like, I'm not ugly. I'm handsome.
Well, brother,
Brother, depends on the day, brother. You know what I'm saying?
I'm playing.
Give me a nice little tent fade, I'm school. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm making all this money for other people. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm handsome, I'm funny, I'm intelligent.
Yeah.
Let's
Definitely.
try it
We used to
myself.
talk about it.
Yeah.
We used to talk about it. I remember in 2020, he was like, yeah, man, I low-key want to start transitioning to be like, because you used to be like, I can do it all, like film, editing,
Produce, direct, all that.
Which I was like, you can. Right. I knew you,
Yeah.
but I didn't know how you were on camera.
Yeah.
So cool to see a translation over time. Because I remember, it happened quick too. Like once you started it didn't take very long.
Bro, once you put just like what y'all doing right now, once you put your mind to it, you put the work in, it's going to happen. You're never late. What are you late for? Like people be like, oh, well, it's too late. I'm 25 or, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's so much further ahead of me. You're not late. What did you miss?
Just
It hasn't
put
happened
pedal
yet.
to the
I mean,
metal.
you beat most of the competition by just starting.
But it's doing it.
It's great because I think about like how easy it is to do something like produce content, create a podcast, be a streamer, whatever it is that
Anything.
you want to do. And I was thinking like, man, we've been talking about it for like doing this for so long.
For a
Imagine had we just started, right?
Man, bro, do you know where y'all would be at right now?
Yeah, well, we on our
Oh,
way.
man. We on the way, brother.
On the way.
On the way.
So what we talking about today, man?
Well,
Yeah,
today we
understood.
want to delve into your expertise, relationships, and I guess what our brand is about, marriage, money, and of course the most high.
I like that.
One thing that I think sparked your interest when we were talking a long time ago is just the whole waiting until marriage thing and how we were able to do that. And I guess I want to hear your thoughts on it and if it's something that you would do.
Would I wait for a woman until marriage?
Yeah.
100%. If it's the right, like my relationship right now, and I tell her all the time, she won't believe me, and that's fine. I can't prove it now. You know what I'm saying? Too late. But if she would have been like, nah, like respectfully, like I want to wait.
Yeah.
Fine.
You would have done it.
It's bet.
You believe that, babe?
I can't say no because I say yes because had the roles been reversed and he said that about me and look what I did. I waited.
That's true.
I waited when like nobody thought it was even feasible, right? Because like D1 athlete, right? It don't matter PWI or whatever the case. D1 athlete at in a college, right?
Right.
You usually you know how it is, right? You usually get motion, yeah. but now beginning of freshman year, we get together. Those are the stipulations, and it's like bet. I mean, I can't say I can't believe him because if I were to my 16-year-old self were to tell me that this is what you're gonna be doing,
You'd be like, nah.
I'd
You'd
be like yeah,
nah.
but hey,
Fair enough. So you're telling me if your current girlfriend right now says she wants to recommit, she wants to start over again and not delve into that side of things,
That's fine.
that would have been fine.
That's fine. If she did it today, she's like, yeah, we're not. I don't want to have it no more until we get married. Fine.
Yeah, I think, yes, one of the big parts about waiting until marriage is that you get to build out your relationships, like the foundation of it all, communication, learning about each other, learning your love languages and stuff like that. But it also shows someone's strength of character because sex can be addictive and it can really open up a can of worms that you might not be like spiritually and emotionally ready for. Temptation. So if somebody commits to you in that way, yes, it proves that you're worthy of waiting for that, but it also shows that, boy, this person really has a strong, like they have discipline, and that is really, really important.
Discipline is so rare, especially with men. It's very rare that you come across a self-disciplined man. And then, even then, it's a choice that you make. Because I could be self-disciplined today, tomorrow, Wednesday. The day that I choose not to be self-disciplined and go enjoy what I want, when I've already made a commitment, it does all that other stuff don't matter.
I agree. I also think that it is more expected of women to do the whole waiting until marriage thing, but I think men would highly benefit from it. Like, there's the Bible aside, right? It is the logical thing to do. I genuinely believe that just putting that to the side and not delving into that, especially early on in the relationship, proves like it has so many benefits, and it will just strengthen you overall. Because sex can blur the lines. It can really blur the lines of the relationship, and it really, when you put that to the side, you can see people truly for who they are and not waste your time.
Did it strengthen you, brother?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't really know, man. It was very difficult. But my feelings for her were more than the feelings that I had or that I wanted to have, at least. So I just think it was for me, it just gave me clarity into, like, man, I really love this girl, and there was no blurred lines there. Like, I wasn't confusing how she made me feel physically with how I felt in my heart. Yeah. And, you know, in my spirit and everything else. So there was no, like, 'cause I feel like that's why a lot of people can't stay in toxic relationships, because, man, I'm gonna leave this dude, I'm gonna leave this girl, but then, but she makes me feel so whatever, right? And it's easier to stay and deal with crap because of a feeling they may last, you know.
Yeah, I'm real against feelings, bro. Feelings really don't mean nothing to me, honestly.
Really?
Feelings fade.
That's true.
If I get around you and I'm like, dang, man, I treat you so good. You know what I'm saying? We're having a great time. I treat you so good. The minute you piss me off, and now it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to you different. My tone is different.
I was like that.
Yeah,
I used to be like, bro, it was bad. I told her before.
You was like that in your relationship? Or just period?
No. Well, here's the thing. Before I met Shantae, I was so irritable with any female that I came around. Like, man, she's bad. 10 out of 10. But she got on my nerves one time. Oh yeah, clips. I'm done. Right? So easy. Yeah. And I couldn't help that feeling. Like, no matter how much I was like, bro, like, she looks great, yada yada yada. I couldn't shake the feeling that she was annoying to me. Even if it was just one instance. And I remember asking God, I said, God, yeah, it was like a serious problem I was really concerned about. I was like, bro, I may have commitment issues now. Because I was like, every woman or young woman that I deal with, there's no longevity there because I get so annoyed with them. And I remember asking God, I was driving in my Jeep Grand Cherokee, 2004, riding up the street. I was like, God, can you please send me somebody that just won't get on my nerves, right? My next girlfriend was Shantae. I remember the first time she got on my nerves. I went back to my room. I was like, whoa, I still like her. I was like, I said, we got something here. I said, yeah, we got something.
So
he
wasn't broken. You just need the right one, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Facts, bro.
Take the right one, bro.
Facts, 100%. And obviously, waiting until marriage was a huge part of that. I told her all the time, if we had sex before marriage, or relatively quickly, I won't say before marriage, because there was a certain point where it was like that was my wife, regardless. Yeah. But I think if we had sex within a certain time span, I don't think we would have got married. Wow. Because what women don't understand, like, men want you to respect yourself. At the same time, men don't want you to. Like, it's gonna sound confusing, but he'll like, man, I want to hit. I promise you. As soon as she let me hit, I'm like, damn, that's some sad shit. I can't even mess with her no more.
Let me tell you why, and I might get grilled for this. You know what I'm saying? But
that sounded horrible, but it's reality.
I might get grilled for it. It matters, as a woman, it matters you waiting longer. They'll be like, oh, well, you're a grown person. You make your own choices. Cool, fine. But let's go into why you're allowing me to experience that part of you on the first date, first interaction. Because you felt like I was such a good guy. You felt like I liked you so much. You felt like I was so intelligent and I cared about you. You can't know that about a person in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Do you know how easy it is? Like, and this is coming from, I'm very transparent about the life I used to live. I am a healed manipulator, a healed narcissist and gaslighter.
Amen,
bro,
brother.
do you know how easy it is to wear a mask for a couple hours? I could wear a mask for a weekend.
Hold on. For a couple months.
Bro.
You know what I mean? Like don't give a guy a timetable, right? Or a timestamp. Like, hey, yeah, I don't do anything within the first 6 months. I done seen players wait 6
Yeah,
months.
They would wait longer.
After the 6 months.
Oh yeah. It like I know people. Shit, I used to be one of the people who was probably willing to do that.
Patient, bro. A patient man is a dangerous man, boy.
Like,
and I was patient.
The toxicity levels in this room is
hey man,
high right
we being
now.
transparent.
But
we being transparent.
I'm being
I will
transparent.
say is,
Yeah.
though, I feel women do control the relationship. Like, you can control it, and it's when they give up that power that's when they kind of get left.
My uncle told me, and this is probably one of the most realest conversations we had. She's like, Isaac. He said, because I was getting older. He knew I was kind of getting around, girls and stuff like that. I was probably like 16, 17, around that age, when I started really stepping out and really not becoming myself, because, during that phase, you're still trying to learn who you are.
Right.
So he had a conversation. He said, Isaac, let's go on a drive. And he was like, look, man. I said, she said, women are the most precious things on earth. And he was like, and women have their most prized possession, right? When a woman gives that to you, that is the most sacred thing that they could ever give you. Right? The most sacred. And he was telling me that, you want to always deal with a woman, right, when you're looking for a wife that understands how sacred it is. Because it says a lot about who they are as a person. 100%. Now, this isn't a shot at anybody who's done anything in the past, right? Because I think as you grow up, your ideologies change, right? For sure. If it doesn't, then you're not moving forward. But I remember that conversation when I met her, right? Because as soon as we were having a conversation in college, I don't know, whatever we were talking about, and it came up that, hey, she had just brought it out, like, oh yeah, I've never even done any of that before. And that conversation with my uncle popped in my head because I already found her super attractive personality. And then that was like, oh wow, this is like, that says a lot about her, even if I don't know her yet. Right. If that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
No, I feel that. And then going back to the feelings thing, it's like I don't trust a woman who makes decisions purely off feelings.
You can't.
I feel like I like him. I feel like he's a great guy. He hasn't proven nothing to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm a longevity guy like you. I use logic. I'm thinking a year in, 2 years in, when we out the cupcake phase, maybe she feel like she could get something better. Maybe she feels like this guy at work cares about her more because he may be asking more questions than me. Right. So you gonna give him access to you just because you're feeling the way you feeling?
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a question then. If a woman who are emotional beings, right? Women are just more emotional, right? That's a general.
More in tune with their emotions, which is a great thing.
It is. It's a beautiful thing. Femininity.
When I say more emotional, like that's also true. But I'm also saying like they do operate. It's a generalization. Obviously, there's outliers, but a lot of women do rely on emotion for decision making, right? Because they're just more emotional, which is okay.
Biological,
which is okay.
I can't help it,
right? So I'm not that's not a negative at all. With that being said, what kind of mindset would you want a woman you're looking for to have? That's obviously not based off of feelings alone.
I want it to be hard. I want it to be difficult. I've never liked the easy catch. And maybe that's just because I love the sport. I love the chase.
It's a game too.
It is, but it's the game. It's a method to the madness though. Like, I don't want what's easy. You crack on the first night and dudes be thinking, yeah, bro, I'm special. Punna.
Are you?
You really think, be real, you really think you that special that you the only person?
Before.
Yeah, I've never done this before. As she pulling I've never done this before. Come on, man. I ain't biting. Man, suckers fall for that, bro.
Come on, gang.
I ain't biting that. Nah, bro. I want it to be a little bit difficult. It feels better, bro, like when you earn it.
So why do you entertain these women then?
Which women?
The women.
Are you talking about my past
in
life?
the past?
Yeah.
Come on, clarify now that he's a changed man.
So why? What you mean, like?
What's the point of doing that if you know what you want and she is proven to not be that? Why entertain a relationship?
You mean like not settle down?
Yeah, like why would you go ahead and entertain people with obviously like maybe low self-esteem or things like that? What is behind that?
That's a good question.
And this is former DTheDon.
This is former DTheDon. Okay, a former DTheDon was a manipulator, but I wasn't a manipulator in the sense of lying. Like, hey, I like you. I see something with us. Da da da.
Right.
I was a manipulator in the sense of I'm gonna get what I want from you, and then when I leave, I'm gonna hide behind the fact that I told you the truth. So I would deal with women that maybe definitely like me a lot more than them, and I tell them the truth. Like, look, I'm not looking for nothing serious.
Right.
I'm just trying to have fun. I'm just trying to do this. But in the back of my head, I know they like me so much that they're gonna accept whatever I offer.
Right.
So,
are they thinking they could change you?
Yeah, and then that, you know what I'm saying? You got this the crazy game of thinking that you could change a man, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna deal with you, get what I want, and then when I leave and you crying, I'm like, well, I told you the truth. Mm-hmm. You can't be mad at me. And even though, like, I'm being honest, that's not righteous. I wasn't a righteous man. That's something I had to learn, and I learned through karma. Because that shit gonna catch up to your ass all the time. You never getting away with nothing. It's always gonna get back to you, bro. So it's just, and that was just a part of me trying to heal. I had to, part of it, I was like, that's not bad. I told him the truth.
Right.
But you don't understand, like, the damage that you caused when you just abandoned somebody that cared about you. These women genuinely cared about me. And I just wanted my little thing, and I wanted to get on.
And then you just.
Yeah, it was very, 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 very bad.
Because again, like you said, women operate off feeling. A lot of women operate off feeling, right? Men, like you said, it's the chase, right? The lion chase, hunts, kills, and then does it again, and then does it again, right? Women, when I feel like obviously there's outliers, but I feel like most women, when they do give up that sacred part, it's also it's most of the time, from my experience, knowing people, talking to people, understanding, it's most of the time it's an emotional thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I very rarely, well, in today's world, we're over-sexualized. There's OnlyFans and all that stuff, whatever. But at least growing up, my understanding of it was if a woman gives this to you, she really likes you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what it was. Because it wasn't only recent couple of years that I think the dynamic has changed a little bit to where I guess it's more common to kind of get around.
Like, casual dating or intercourse or whatever. But I also feel it speaks to, as you said, the over-sexualization of our world, that waiting until marriage is so unique. Like, why isn't that the standard? Especially for men, like you guys, maybe, I guess you have your own analogies of why it's better for a woman to do that as opposed to a man, but it is so rare. And when I tell people that, they're like, "What?"
No, it is.
Yeah.
Like, you did what? And then
it was so foreign to me when you told me. I was like, I said, so
this still exists? I didn't know they still did this.
I asked like 3 follow-up questions. I was like, what do you define as sex? I was like, okay, do you understand the baseball analogy? Base 1, 2, and 3. Like you said, you never went to the home plate, or so it was unheard of. It's unheard of, bro. Right? It really is unheard of in certain cultures.
Yeah, Western culture.
But again, it's a man's pride, bro. A man's pride is his woman, bro. Like, I think my uncle taught me this, bro. He said the best jewelry a man can wear is his woman. That's your pride, bro. So having a woman that hasn't been touched, never has been touched, or like has rarely been touched or seen, like that secrecy, oh my God. I don't know what it is for us, bro.
You can't buy that.
What is that for us?
You want me to tell you?
Go ahead.
Look, men are possessive by nature, right? You get on social media, you see all these women talking about, oh, he's controlling, right? Or he's this or he's that. No, men biologically are possessive beings, right? We cannot be protective if we are not at a certain level of possessive. I'm not saying over possessive, like you can't go out, you can't do this, you can't do that. But when I look at Shantae, all I see is mine.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody who has a problem with that doesn't understand how a man's mind works. There's the reason why, I don't do this because she's not that type of woman, but if Shantae's wearing something provocative, right, and I tell her, if I were to tell her, hey, babe, I don't want you wearing that, that's not because of her personal being or whatever. It's because I want to protect what's mine, right? If I tell Shantae that hey, I need you to call me when you get here. I need you to call me when you're on the way. I need all that stuff. Call me in between, right? Let me know your destination. That's not me being controlling, right? That's me being possessive, protective.
I don't understand how people like have a problem with that. I don't understand.
Feminists today.
Oh, gosh.
I'll never understand that.
It's like, it's a little much. It's a little much.
I'll never
I
understand
feel
that.
with any movement, there is the possibility that it goes a bit overboard. I do believe in equal opportunities for men and women.
Of course.
Because economies do better when men and women work. Families, like having a 2-income household, when women have financial independence, like those things are great. But as it relates to like a relationship, I do feel traditionally just some of the concepts as we've learned, not everything has to be thrown out the window, because like I remember one time we were in college and we had this conversation of men opening the door, and if chivalry has sexual or like anti-woman, anti-feminist undertones of, let's say, if you open my door, are you trying to insinuate that I cannot open my own door?
The extremists.
Right, no, but with any movement, those are possibilities, right?
Yeah.
And then I've dated before, minimally, of course, but I went on a date with a feminist, and I was like, a guy feminist, of course.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh.
New to me.
It's new to me.
I didn't explain it that way.
Guys can be feminist too.
For sure, okay.
So I went on a date and it was going well. We watched a movie and we were heading back home. And he asked me, he said, would you like to sit inside the taxi or like on the outside? Because I don't want you to feel as though I need to protect you or you're not capable of protecting yourself. I think
that's dumb.
Can I finish my story?
I'm sorry, that's so stupid.
All the points from the date just went down. And in theory, I was like, yes, I want a guy that believes these things. But I was just not attracted to that.
Really?
Why would she be? That's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard.
Nah, I would think, I can imagine some women like appreciating that.
I want you to tell me to go on the inside. I want you to close
so you
the
want
doors.
that direction. You want that leadership.
I want that direction.
A lot of women don't want to be led though, bro. Like that's why I can understand women being like, "Oh yeah, I love him. He's great."
I know Isaac. Also, Isaac has very controversial opinions. But if I'm being very honest, I would not be attracted to him if he didn't have like those opinions that he has. Makes him the type of man that I'm attracted to. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Clip that.
Right
there, you gotta clip that one right there. Nah, but 100%. Like again, like you said, they're extremists on both ends of the spectrum, right? That right there, stupid as hell, right here. And this is what I'm talking about, right? Men have to be men, women have to be women. I say we're complementary opposites, right? To where Shantae is great and phenomenal at so many things that I am not great or phenomenal. Sometimes I'm too much man for the situation, right? And sometimes she's not man enough for the situation, right? And that's okay. That's okay. Like I feel like just because we're talking about equal opportunity, right, doesn't mean the women have to try to be good at what men are at. Men have to try to be good at what women are at.
It's not equal.
It's equal, but in different lanes, right? In that situation. Right, I'm gonna open the door for my wife, not because I'm a man and that's chivalrous. Not because she can't open her. If she thinks that I think that, then that says more about her than it does about me.
Yeah.
Right. And if for example, like on the extreme side, right? Oh, you don't think I can protect myself? No, because if another grown man comes. Right, I don't think a lot of women understand how strong a grown man is.
I'm very strong on this topic, bro. I got into arguments with my girl about this right here, bro.
I don't care what your karate. You took a $15 karate class and you learned how to pinch a nerve.
Let me tell you this, bro. I'm blessed to be in a relationship with a woman who hasn't experienced sexual assault. I don't think we take into account how common that is.
Yeah.
She is one of the first women I've ever met that has no experience with sexual assault. Okay. She hasn't been stalked. She hasn't been attacked. She hasn't really been in a situation where a man tried to like hurt her.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing because she doesn't have that trauma or those trauma responses.
Right.
Yeah.
But on the opposite end of that, she's so trusting to men.
Yeah.
And like again, like, and the boy gonna hate me for this, but a man is the biggest threat to women. I want my women to not trust men. Now I don't want her to be on that stance of I don't need a man, I hate men, but I want you to feel like a man has to earn certain things like trust for you to even get. I don't even like my girl smiling at random. I can't stand it.
Can I give you a stat?
I can't stand it.
There's a crazy sexual assault stat that I think it was like 8 out of 10 sexual assaults happen from people you know, people you think you can trust. 8 out of 10, right? So that's a crazy stat. And to your point, 100% super blessed that Shantae has never had to go through anything like that. Especially in like my perception of Jamaica before I really knew her. Well, even now, brother, you know how New York be catcalling people? Jamaicans will catcall you in the most creative ways. I mean, we were walking to Jamaica, going to a little KFC spot, right? We in the middle of Ochi.
Ochi Rest, yeah.
Yeah. And this man, you're marvelous, you're gorgeous. I mean, but imagine everything I'm saying in very aggressive patois.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And I'm listening, I understand everything, right? I understand where we at, but I'm like, this dude, I'm talking about the most creative. But here's the thing, there also can be a little bit aggressive, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? Can be very aggressive. And in my head, I'm like, the scariest thing in the world is an undisciplined man. A man who is undisciplined.
I'll take it even further. The scariest, even scarier than that, is a man that feels entitled. Because that's where it starts.
Yeah.
I feel like because you smiled at me, I asked you how your day's going, you responded and you smiled at me, you want me.
You want me.
And so now when I go after you turn me down,
what's wrong? Who do you think you are?
So you think you're better than me. Now I gotta humble you.
Exactly.
And there's so many entitled niggas out here, bro. I can't stand it.
It's really weird. Like I know I've met him personally, and it's so weird. But it also speaks on how dangerous. Like I agree, men are the greatest at the women. But here's the thing: although while they're an outlier, I would say most men aren't that way. It's still in the realm of possibility, which means that you have to associate that knowledge with every man you come across.
100%.
Right, and that's just the reality.
My girl do not understand that, bro. She don't
understand
it.
It's scary that they don't understand it.
It's terrifying, bro.
Mandy and I are very similar in that, and it's just I feel like you two are very similar in regards like your personality. You both are extroverted with your friends, with your group. But Mandy and I were just naturally extroverted. Like I don't believe
she talked to every Uber driver.
First of all, I'm trying to practice my Spanish.
Every Uber driver.
They all speak
How was your
Spanish.
day? I'd be like, oh gosh. I'd be like, oh man.
They come in. You're not going to say hello. I'm going to say hello. How are you? And if their jobs are boring,
I'd be like, go in the Uber settings and put your preference. No talking.
Okay.
No talking. Look, it's
bro,
late at night. A man's driving you. I'm like, please don't fall asleep. Don't do nothing. Oh my gosh.
But this is the thing. Like when my girl with me, you can be as dumbfounded as possible. I actually appreciate it.
Do your thing.
Like she all la, 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 you know, just going with the flow. I got it. That's cool. But it'd be, bro, when she leave the house and I'm not with her, bro. Oh my God.
That's the only thing you think of, though.
That's
the
fact
that she's so dumbfounded when you're with her. She must be dumbfounded.
And it's not that y'all ignorant. Y'all don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
definitely do prefer like traveling with you because then I don't really think about anything. When I'm traveling by myself, it's like, all right, I have to really put my thinking cap on and navigate the world. Otherwise, I'm just
the best compliment I ever received from a woman was she was like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? You're attractive, you're smart, you're intelligent, all that. But I love that I can, like, when I'm with you, I can turn my brain off.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like, I don't have to worry about where we're going, how
walking.
we're going to get there, how it's going to be paid for. I just got to be there.
Yeah.
And she's like, it makes it so easy for me. So with Manny, that's what I want. I try to get that out of her. And it's a blessing, but it's like, damn, bro. Like,
it's scary, man. And the reason why it's scary is because I don't think you really understand. Like you've never, and I'm so grateful you haven't had an experience, but the fact that you haven't had an experience allows you to not understand where I'm coming from all the time. Like to your point, entitled men, you go out in a certain area, dress a certain way, you're going to attract a certain type of attention. As a woman, should you be able to walk out with your figure showing and all that stuff and be safe?
yes.
But does that mean you will be safe? No. I am not saying that for you. I'm saying that for the men. Because I don't want you to attract that type of man. Because how many times you see, oh, she was dressed that way, of course she wanted it. I want you to get away from them dudes.
Right.
And by the way, guys, I'm not talking. She don't do nothing.
This
crazy.
This is why I want a daughter, bro, just so I can educate her, bro. The difference between right and wrong, and the difference between reality. In our house, in my house, right or wrong. If you right, you right. If you wrong, you wrong. You're gonna be loved in this house unconditionally. Your opinion gonna matter. How your feelings gonna be validated. But the minute you step out this house, these people don't give a damn about you. You can't act the same way you act in the house when you come out of here. Especially, I'm raising a black daughter, a black young man. These folks, you not a black young daughter. You the least protected, the least respected, the least sought after.
Yeah.
You gotta carry yourself a certain way. And yes, it's like I use the analogy of my car. Should I be able to walk away from my car, leave my car door wide open? I got to drive a scat back, and I stay in Atlanta, by the way. I should be able to walk out to the gas station, leave my car door open, and nobody go on my shit because it's my shit.
Thou shalt not steal.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
It's a commandment, but not everybody reading them.
But reality is, I leave that car door open, somebody gonna go in my shit. So you have to, and again, we're trying to control. I make content that helps women. It shows the value of women, right? As a man. And they like, the biggest comments I get is like, oh, well, why don't you talk to the man? Why don't you hold the man accountable? And I do, right? But at the end of the day, we don't have no control over another man's actions.
You can't, bro.
You, Shantae, have no control over another man's actions. But you know what you do have control over? What you can do to protect yourself. And even then, right? Okay, cool. Say you go outside and you dress modestly. There's still a possibility you could get attacked. But that's not in your control. At least you control what you could. And you don't know what situations you're saving yourself from because you're saving yourself. It's like if a drunk driver, you want to drive home drunk and I take your keys, right? And so we go home, you're mad at me, but we get home safe. Imagine if I did it and you got in an accident and killed yourself. It's just, I'm protecting you from the unknown.
It's all preventative. That's all it is. Like, you ever play fight with Mandy?
Play fight? Yeah.
Yeah, like I play fight with her. And when I do, I usually use one arm, right? I use one arm. I hold both her wrists with one arm, and I just pin her down. And I'm like, "Are you done?" Right? Although while it's games, I also a part of me is putting it in perspective. What if I have bad intentions? Right? I'm using one arm in about 20% of strength. Imagine a man who doesn't care about you, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the point, right? And she used to get really annoyed with me. Right, because again, I think in the last episode you talked about how you never really had a man to really.
Right.
That was kind of that part, but.
No, I understand. I think there are two things. One, when we play fights, and sometimes it really dawns on me, like, you could kill me. You have the sheer strength to off me, and I sleep next to you every night, and that thought alone is like, yo, I have to really watch who I'm around. But also it's the fact that men are just naturally strong. And that no matter how much, as you said before, karate, feng shui, type of kickboxing, there's nothing I could naturally do on my own to protect myself from a man that means me harm.
I know a hollow point. Probably do the job.
Oh, yeah, I got to get my girl don't like pistols. She like these big old guns. I'm like, man, you don't carry a little 22 in your purse, bro. Pop his ass and get the fuck off. I ain't gonna back the fuck up, man. Pop his ass.
Well, the one time I started to understand was when I was in college. I know we were long distance for a bit. You were in Houston, and I was telling you I was doing an internship in Allentown, and I had to like Uber there, Uber back. And I was telling you that my Uber driver was like kind of hitting on me, and I was like shutting it down. But at first, we were just starting off like socially conversational, easygoing. And then he was like, oh, do you have somebody? I was like, yes, I'm married, yada, yada, yada. He's like, I could be your boyfriend. I'm like, whoa, sir, this is going somewhere. This is going in a direction that we definitely should not be going in. And, I come out of the Uber. And of course, I'm telling you how my day is. And you got so mad at me. Like, you literally started to cry. You're like, Shante, if something happens to you and I have to go out there and, like, off somebody, you don't know what you were putting
She
me
told
through.
me that story, and I had never felt more close to you ever. Y'all do not understand. Like, even me knowing you're not my wife, but I look at you like a sister. If something happened to you, we both going to jail. And you can laugh, you
I
won't.
don't think people understand.
Like, I'm dead serious. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine, bro. Like, and I understand, like, bringing you the tip, bro, because it's like, you see something so delicate, so precious. You know what I'm saying? Then as a man, it's our role to protect.
Right.
If me and my girl go outside to the gym and she get something happen to her, she get hurt, the first thing her family gonna do, nigga, where the fuck was you at? That's our responsibility.
Yeah.
So I promise I feel you.
Yeah, I remember. I was probably mad because I think you were still too. It's late. Yeah. Get where you got to go. You ain't got to be talking to people, right? That was kind of my thing. But I don't think they understand the sheer level of rage that would like cover the earth if anything ever happened. Like I really that's a part of myself I hope I never see. Cause I don't know. It would be the first day of like the last day of like my life. Like they would put me under the jail. Like I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like my mom used to say, Isaac, there's a couple things you never mess with. There's two things. You never mess with a man's money. You never mess with a man's woman.
Yep.
Right? In the Bible, in Proverbs, the book of wisdom, it talks about staying away from what's the word? Presumptuous?
Presumptuous woman.
Staying away from a presumptuous woman, right? This is in Proverbs. And it says that her bed will lead you to the grave. That's literally what the Bible says. It talks about how if you know another woman is claimed, why not enjoy the breasts of your own woman, right? Right. A woman's words is as sweet as honey, right? And her lips are smooth, but her bed will lead you to the grave. That's literally what the Bible says. I kid you. Go read Proverbs. That's what the Bible says, right? And look at how many dudes get caught, getting on somebody's wife, and they end up dead, right? How many dudes talk to a man's girlfriend, hey, I'm taken or whatever, and they end up dead or they end up really hurt. This is real stuff. There's not many. You know me, like y'all both know me personally, right? You don't see me just get mad. Right, it's not I may get irritated, but you won't. You just very rarely have you ever seen me just like crash out, right? But there's two things where I know, number one being her, that would guarantee mass destruction. Mass destruction. Get the nukes. Stop this man.
Hey, 5 stars on GTA. Hey, they gonna have to bring the tanks out for me.
Hey man, they gonna need the Avengers. They gonna need somebody. Iron Man got to come back. Thanos, somebody, but real talk, man. That's how it is.
Do you know where that comes from for me? Just the protection and provision.
What?
I never seen it happen for my mama. I never seen a man protect or provide for my mama, even the men that she dated. I never seen it, and so because I never saw that, instead of like carrying on that tradition, I chose to like, if I'm gonna be anything, I'm gonna be a provider and I'm gonna be a protector.
I think that's honest. I think. For me, growing up, I aspire to be what I didn't see, what I didn't have. Like she been telling you, like I've been wanting a baby for like 4 years. Yeah. Although it's probably best that I didn't have one. But I didn't have a father growing up, right? I had very solid father figures, right? My uncles were always there for me, like 100%. I can never say I didn't have a male presence. I had many of them, but I still had like a hole in the. In the family. So I know I'm going to be the best father. I can't wait to be a father of a son, a daughter, right? I never saw my mom in a really strong relationship, long-term kind of thing. My mom's a boss, by the way. So I don't think she leaned on or looked for or needed, whatever. That's her personal stuff. So I'm not going to assume. But I knew that I wanted to be like I yearn for a family so much that's why I got married fast. I always knew I was gonna get married very young, right? Because I really wanted a family, right? So Shantae, right? Awesome. Just wait on a little baby in the oven, right? Just I'm saying, hey, cook them up real quick, give it to me, But yeah, I can relate to that 100%. Is there anything that you grew up without that you?
Yeah, definitely. As you know, like no father figure there, and I always knew I didn't want my life to look like what my aunts and what my mother had. So I knew I had to do something different. Yes, that looked like waiting until marriage, and that sounded easy. I was like, they're doing this, I'm going to do that, and this should lead to a different path. And while it did, and God is so hilarious, He grants me that something that is different. but it's like, how do I engage with this? I'm not familiar with somebody like Isaac and of your caliber. Like, how do I engage with somebody that I've always wanted, but I don't know how to treat? Because before, it was just poor examples and not knowing how to be a woman, because my mother has always had to be a man. So that's how I'm very tough. I'm up by myself. I'm very independent. I don't really ask for help, and I've had to unlearn quite a few of those things. But it's been like, sometimes you have to ask God to show you how to treat the things that you've prayed for, because then you will misuse them and mistreat them and not, love them and care for them how they should be cared for. So I think in the first few years of our marriage, it was a bit of a learning process for sure, and like trying to come together, because he said it before, like, I was selfish because I just always thought about myself and not us as a unit. And recently, I think we've been getting a lot better at that. So
what did he do to help you get out of that, though?
He was always, he not just was, he's always like patient, and he communicates very clearly. And I think also just seeing the type of person and not trying to make him into something that he is not. Like, I would treat him like, if one of the biggest things, this is one story that I have, is yes, waiting until marriage to have sex, but also waiting until marriage to do wifely things. I'm a huge advocate for
that. She knows I'm
on the other end of that.
I'm on the other end of that.
We'll get back to that. But I would not like cook for a man. Like, that's something, like, I just feel like that's like, you don't have access to that stuff. Because when I grew up once, where my aunt was talking to this guy, and he did not come home Friday night. She's worried. She's calling him, not getting any answer. Saturday, him don't come home, nothing at all. And you can know, the vibe of a woman. Like, she's down. She's like wondering everything. And in Jamaican culture, you could start from Monday, Tuesday, Friday, go back to Saturday. But on Sunday, you are eating big. You're eating rice and peas with chicken, with maybe 2 types of meat, with some juice that make from real fruits, blend up everything. And it's like a huge meal on Sunday. We eat good.
Okay.
The man show up Sunday evening, and my auntie cook meal, and I say, Auntie, him finally come home now. You want me to hide the food? She said, no. Share it out and give him. And I felt so betrayed. I'm like, you are going to allow this man to come and eat your food that you made, and he was not here all of a weekend. So in that little instant, I was like, I'm not cooking for no man.
Because of that little
No, like, I know it's just stuff like that. I just always see them give so much. And the man not warrant some of those behaviors, some of those actions of love. What are you doing for me? You're not doing anything. So now subconscious, I'm like, oh, I don't do that. I don't do this. But even Isaac, he doesn't require many things of me at all.
I agree with that, though. I don't feel like anything should be necessarily a requirement aside from you respecting me, you being honest to me, and you being respect and honesty. Yeah, loyalty comes with respect and honesty. So I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You protecting yourself. I get that. But me, on the other hand, I don't want to feel like I have to shrink myself to protect myself. If I feel like I'm not going to pay my girl bills because last girl I paid for bills, she cheated and she left. So I just wasted money. If I got to shrink myself to do that, to be with you, I just don't want to be. I want to be able to be me. I'm naturally a provider. And it's not because I got money or because, you know what I'm saying, I just want to pay bills. I want to make your life easier.
Right.
In a masculine way, making your life easier, taking that financial stress off your back. I can wear that. That's fine. I'll do better with it. And then making you feel protected. So, like, I feel like in a feminine way, you want to make my life easier. That I don't know how to cook. Everybody want to know red flag of DTheDon. DTheDon can't cook. You know what I'm saying? My girl cook, and she great, and she cooked all my meals. Your husband came. He said, I ain't trying to use a girl, but can you get her to make some more chicken?
I lay in Atlanta. I was like, hey, man, you eat yet? He think
he finna order some food. He like, nah, bro.
I said, look, all due respect, I ain't trying to use your girl, but you think Manny can cook me up some real quick? I came home
and she but she's a natural nurturer. Yes. Oh my God, and that's so I love that, bro. And it was never a requirement. I never came in like, oh, you gotta cook, you gotta clean.
No,
Man, my girl, she just gave that naturally. So I get my daughter. I will raise my daughter like you. Don't you do none of this shit until woo. But I definitely appreciated that with Manny, because it's not, I'm looking to give and she's looking to give. A toxic person is looking to receive. Man or woman, they just looking to receive.
Yeah.
We were both looking to give. Think about it. If you giving to him and he giving to you, y'all cups could never be empty. Y'all both pouring to each other. You protecting him. You watching his back. He's watching your back. How the fuck did y'all get hurt?
I agree, but at the first part of a relationship, it wasn't like that. I was not looking to like take, but I was not focused on pouring into him.
She was like filling her own cup, and I was filling her cup.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just me. Honestly,
but I'm also.
Did you communicate that though?
In a way, but I'm also not needy as well.
Yeah,
I'm actually not needy at all.
No. Right? If anything, I say you're really a over giver. You give a lot, but the thing is, you give so much. I don't think you pay attention to what you're not receiving in return, which is a beautiful trait, because that's how I know it's genuine. But in those sense, like, you get taken advantage of. Yeah. You're more susceptible to be taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I definitely had to learn some lessons.
But onto that point of performing wifely duties before being a wife, you are on the opposite spectrum of that. That's how it feels now. Why is that?
That's it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you shouldn't have to shrink yourself. Again, this is want to. Yeah. I don't think it's a requirement for my girl to have to cook or to clean. It's just, if you want to do it, cool. I want to make your life easier. So regardless, if my girl, I can't cook. So if my girl come home and she's done it before, she's like, I'm tired, I really don't feel like cooking. Okay, cool, fine. Let's order some food. Or I'm tired, like I ain't really got the energy to clean. Okay, cool. Go lay down. You know what I'm saying? I'll bring you a little Advil, ibuprofen, whatever. I got the dishes. I got the house. I'll take care of the dogs. I don't have no problem doing that. That's why I'm believing that 50-50 shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll pick up where you can't put up that day, because some days you might have 30. Right. I'll be that 70. Some days I might have 60. You know what I'm saying? You be that 40. So
let me tell you why I trying to regain my train of thought. It literally just evaporated.
Was what we was just talking about?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
As far as 50-50 or wifely shit before marriage?
Wifely stuff.
Okay.
Right. It left me again.
Damn.
Oh my God. It literally just left.
Come on, man. This is a clip. This is clip worthy, bro. I'm sure it is.
Hold on. What were we talking about? The 50-50 stuff, wifely duties. Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let me tell you why I do not care for show me wifely things before, we get married. Right? I never care, because one thing I realized that when we went through our celibacy journey as a couple before we got married was that it got to a point where our feelings were and our beings are so intertwined outside of what we shared physically, because we didn't share anything physically. Mm-hmm. It was all emotional, right? It was all just pure, man, do you love him for him? Do you love her for her? And the reason why I didn't care she cooks, or does she clean? Does she do all this other stuff, right? It had zero importance whatsoever. And it's because I grew to love her so much, and she grew to love me so much, that any problems that we had when we were married, we didn't love it. We loved each other enough just to simply fix it, because we wanted to make each other happy. So if she needed me to do something that I didn't want to do initially, or it was outside of myself or whatever, I would adjust, right? And the same thing for her. So for me, I believe that if you do not want to move forward with somebody simply because they did not show you the qualities of a wife that you wanted in terms of their actions, cooking and cleaning, or a husband doing all this other stuff, paying for bills, then that says that you were more interested in what they could do for you than that person themselves.
I get that.
That's good. And even on that point as well, of showing that they're a wife or husband material, there are many ways to show that. It's not just a matter of cooking and cleaning or having sex with somebody or paying their bills. It goes beyond those physical things as well. Like, there are ways that I could show that I'm a caring person. I think of you and I do things for you through acts of service that don't have to include domestic labor and lifting up my skirt. So I think if we broaden our definition of what it is to be husband and wife material, then you realize how minimal some of these domestic chores are.
Okay.
That's how I see
I put it like this. This is why. This is probably my biggest reason why I don't believe in that. Okay. A man that doesn't protect you while you're dating, he's not gonna protect you when y'all get married. A man that doesn't provide for you while you're dating, he not finna provide when y'all get married. And that's why I look at marriage as a celebration, not a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
If me and Mandy were to get married tomorrow, it's not too much different.
Change,
Not just the way our shit work.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much would change aside from now when I go in to film the box. You know what I'm saying? I'm married, but I don't look at marriage as a promotion.
I agree.
It's a celebration.
It's just my advice to women. It's that they love so hard and just so deeply that sometimes we could allow that love to cause us to do things that I believe that shouldn't be done for somebody that has not committed to you in that way.
100%.
So that's how
I think men love harder.
Men do it too, though.
I think men love harder than women do.
Really? I think it's different, bruh.
No, like, here's what I think. I think the best relationships are when the man is a little bit more in love or obsessed with the woman. That's how I've seen it.
Of course you're going to think that because you're a woman.
No, but that's how the best relationships are like that. Honestly. I just feel like the woman has the capacity to love so much more than the woman that his 100% is her 50%. This is just my personal opinion. When a man truly loves a woman, that is when like the relationship will gel. Because if a man is not in love with a woman, a man will just like simply dog out a woman, honestly. But a woman can close her left eye and tilt her head and say, you know what? He's not so cute in a butt. I will love him and I will respect him because that is what a man treasures the most.
That's not a personal experience, is it?
Brother, you know.
No,
Wait a minute.
But this is why, I get that dynamic. But I will say, if a man is crazy in love over a selfish woman,
selfish woman,
bad. I think as long as you're in love with somebody more, like, okay, cool. I don't think it's gender, man or woman. I think it's the person that is loved more, as long as they're more selfless, then it would work. So if a woman loves a man more than the man loves the woman, she loves him a little bit more. As long as he's bigger on protecting her and making sure she's good, it will work. It'll be fine. But you get a selfish man. A man that only care about himself, she love me more. I can do it up if I want, and she gonna be right there.
They'll use that to abuse the relationship and the other person. I guess I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple dynamics. I mean, even with him wanting wifely do like saying that if your man doesn't provide for you before y'all married, you know, the same qualities can translate. Same with being a protector. I think that some of that just depends on situationals, right? Obviously, it's all up to perspective, right? Long distance guys obviously don't have the same capacity to do some of those things as people who are close, right? Yeah. There's all kind of dynamics. So I think both points serve well.
But on that as well, I knew you were a provider even before you started making money. Like, I knew our first date was at Waffle House. And I'm sure that was a bit of a burden for you.
Oh, yeah. These women gonna look at you like, what? Waffle House?
Yeah, we're in college. We don't have no money in college. So, but I knew you were like that because you were kind, because of the things you did. You couldn't, well, I didn't have any bills in college, but we didn't have anything. But I saw those qualities in you from the start.
So you dated potential?
In college, there is only potential. There is no kinetic energy.
I don't agree with that.
Well, how do you do
I don't think it's potential. I feel like a trying man is a good man. Trying is not potential. Effort is not potential. Okay. If he is working to get towards that, you don't look at the potential of if he could do it. If he's working towards it, you're going to see that. You're going to see the fruit. I seen that on the podcast. She said, if a man, because again, nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he couldn't afford to pay the bills, but you seen the fruit of a man that wanted to provide.
Is it the fruit or is it the seed that then blossoms or then grows into the fruit?
Okay,
because the fruit is something
explain like what
so like
would be
seed
the
is
seed?
something that is planted, because potential, you can't eat potential. Potential cannot pay the bills.
Mm.
So I think I define potential of as having the capacity and the desire to do certain things. That is something that you can plant in a little, this is a hardworking person. I'm just not in the right field right now. So if I plant this little seed and I put it into the ground and I say, you know what, mama, let me work with him. I'm going to put him in the ground. I'm going to give him some water, germinate the seed so it can spring up into a flower. That is my definition of potential. At the end of that now, when that potential has that now been transferred into like kinetic energies from people who love physics, but into the fruit of that, it's something that then can benefit me. Because me not love nuts. I'm not going to just eat seeds. I'm going to eat fruit. So the fruit can pay the bills. The fruit can send the children to school. The fruit can then afford to buy food for the household. But if that potential if it just stays as a seed, then I will never benefit from it. Mm-hmm. So that's how I see it.
You can, and even then, the way I look at potential and with that situation, why I don't instruct people to, women or men, to date potential is because he has to want it. You can want that for him. You can pour into him. You can speak to the king of him all you want. This man don't decide that he want that for himself. That seed gonna stay right in that little motherfucker sand. That motherfucker ain't gonna grow for shit. You might get a leaf out that motherfucker. He gotta make that decision for himself.
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
Effort. You gonna see the effort.
That's fair.
Fair. And like just to this last point, I think a part of that, like, you also have to be very careful, because for me, I don't like today's society, at least the social view of what a man should be, what a woman should be in a relationship, in every relationship.
No, for sure.
Because it's okay to grow with somebody, right? I feel like you don't have to, like, all the men out there, you don't got to be up to feel qualified to go on a date, to meet a woman, right? To find a connection. You don't got to be up 6 figures, right? You could still be figuring it out. The only difference is, are you finding somebody who is also wanting to build with you? That's a thing, right? That's a thing. Like, if me and Shantae lost it all today, she's not going to leave me because I am no longer stable, right? We're going to focus on how can we rebuild together, right? The only advantage is that out of college, I already had things in motion. I already had things going. We already had money, right? She had options. If that were no longer the situation, I understand who I married, right? So I understand that she loves me, I love her, right? She doesn't love what I can provide. That's just a byproduct of just being with me.
So with that, that's what you speaking on is unconditional love. So she loves
it's conditional.
You. How is it conditional?
God's the only one who has unconditional love.
So you don't believe in unconditional love between people?
No.
Why not?
If I went and I cheated on Shantae with 50 women, she would no longer love me. She'd be like,
she can love you. She may not be with you.
Why the hell did I love this man? I literally, like, there's no way. If Shantae, like when we say unconditional, like this is why I say God is the only one who has unconditional love. God is the only one who can look at us and look at all the negativity, all the things we've done in life, right? And literally, no matter how dirty, and literally say, God, I come to you as a sinner. I'm confessing all my sins, and I'm asking to be forgiven because of the blood of Jesus Christ. And he will say, you are wiped clean. I no longer remember what you did. That's the only man who could do that.
Okay.
Right? The only spirit that can do that is God.
Yeah.
Right? With humans, it is impossible for us to have unconditional love. Because if you stab my mom in the neck, I hate you. Right? There's nothing. Right? Obviously, I love her very deeply. And because we love each other, I'm not going to do anything that will make her question her love for me. Right? But to say that people can have unconditional love, I think that's stepping into a realm that we can't even understand.
Okay.
Can't even fathom, comprehend. Like, in the Bible talks about how God's love is so vast, it's so abundant, it's so powerful that we can't even comprehend his love for us. That's unconditional love. Yeah. In my opinion.
That's what they call like agape love. I understand it. I think a small version of that is a love.
I got agape on me, actually.
You really do?
Yes, I got Bose clothing brand. This is agape.
Yes, sir.
Love that.
Unconditional love. Shout out my boy.
Ain't no business, Bo.
Go ahead.
The only other way I see that manifest in the physical realm is through parents and their children. Like, that's the only type of love that you could even come close to agape love. Because
Come close,
yeah. But as it relates to romantic,
You don't think no romantic? No.
honestly, I agree with you, Isaac. I don't believe that romantic love is unconditional. I could always have love in my heart for Isaac, but if Isaac continues to if he continuously disrespects me, doesn't show his love for me, if he cheats on me, I will leave him.
That doesn't mean you don't love him, though.
Yes, but I don't love him in the same way. I don't love him enough to be with him. I genuinely don't believe that is honest. Yes, it would be so good to say and so like celebrated. Yes, I love you unconditionally, but it's not the truth. And if and I see that play out in a lot. You have to work to stay in love. You have to, it is something that you work at.
True.
And
Correct.
when you neglect it, then you can fall out of love with people. We work to stay in love. We work to ensure that, I feel the love,
That was a flaw I had
Really?
in my previous relationship and almost every relationship. Because I was so focused on get to the money, make sure she's protected, make sure she's taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And as time goes on, you pay more attention to that than, like, my girl's love language is quality time.
Right.
Mine is acts of service, gifts giving. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm trying to express my love for you in the way that I receive it. But that's not the way that she receives it. You know what I'm saying? You see so many of these stories of these women cheating. It's like, why? He had more time for me. He complimented me. He made me feel special. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, as a man, I get it 100%. Do your thing, get to the bag, protect your family. But you still have to make time for that quality time, for that emotional
We
connection.
struggle with that.
To build that love. I still struggle with it
In the
sometimes.
beginning.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, I can work without understanding the concept of time, right? I could just be in my own.
Work isn't time. When you get to a certain level, it is no time.
It's
Everything
just
is work. It's just work.
Right. And like I remember my uncle came like to Vegas and he was like, you spend time with Shantae? And I was like, yeah. He said, when's the last time? I was like,
Couldn't
I'm
answer.
talking about just an hour.
Yeah.
Just like, so, a part of the reason why we got the podcast. Now we spend an hour and a half a week, minimum,
Yeah.
every day, just giving us time just to talk.
Yeah.
And people just can listen if they want.
Yeah.
Right. And then outside of that, obviously there's stuff we do and stuff like that. But yeah, that's I think where we talk about her deficiencies when we first got married. I think that was one of my biggest deficiencies, to where, me taking care of the bills, me taking care of finances, her not having to work, her being able to work but pursue the stuff she wants to pursue, all that stuff. No, she still wants her husband.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, but for me before it was like, well, what's she mad at? She got everything.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like,
But it's like that's
I
not
didn't have any of this
fulfilling though.
before, and
Bro.
I was-
That's not fulfilling.
Exactly,
Imagine
yeah.
she has everything she could want, bills paid. She don't got to work, anything conventionally. You know what I'm saying? Tangible that she can have, but she don't feel that love. She don't feel that connection.
Yeah,
She's gonna be
what is all
empty.
of this? Yeah.
Empty.
yeah. But that's something I didn't realize. Like, because again, as a man, I place my value on protection, protection and providing. That's it.
100%.
Right. That's where my value is. So that's not, again, that's the physical stuff. I still got to take care of the emotional side.
100%.
The spiritual stuff as well.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. That's good to talk about.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll close this episode of the Young and Suffren podcast. DTheDon, thank you so much.
Appreciate
for joining
y'all.
us.
This was dope. I appreciate y'all going somewhere with this. Y'all good at this.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I like this.
Man, it was a great time, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you
Always.
guys. Make sure to download, subscribe, comment. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you thought of our responses. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Later.